Hi students, good morning. Welcome back to the next video of English literature class. Hope you're fine there. Well, it's time to start today's class. Before starting our class, let's have a silent prayer. So students, do you remember what we have studied in the last class? Now it's time to recall what we have studied in the last class. Okay, so I am going to show you a video here. You have to watch and listen it carefully. Okay, so here's the video. Just watch and listen it carefully.
The Squirrel. The poem is about squirrels. The squirrel holds its tail in the shape of a question mark. It is covered with grey fur. It sits up straight while it feasts on nuts. It likes playing with people. If you run around the squirrel's tree, it runs the other way.
Okay, so this is all about the video, and I hope you could recollect what we have studied in the last class. So in the last class, we started the poem The Squirrel by Mildred Bowers Armstrong, and in this poem, we have already seen that this poem is all about a squirrel, and in this poem, the poet described about the shape of its tail and the back of that squirrel, and also the sitting position of the squirrel while he eats the nuts, and he also wants to play with the people. And when we are playing with the squirrels, they will run around his tree and win the other way. So this is actually a simple and beautiful poem. Okay, so I hope you got the idea of this poem, and now it's time to discuss the textual activities. So here we go. You have to take your notebook with you and try to write it down in your notebook. Okay. So the first question, why does the poet say the squirrel wore a question mark for tail? Draw a squirrel or find a picture of a squirrel sitting on the ground. How do you describe its tail? The first question consists of different parts, and we will discuss the answer later. So it's time to discuss the next question. Second question, do we usually say that an animal wears a tail? What do we say? Think. Does an animal wear a coat? Consult a dictionary if you like and find out how wear is used in different ways. And the third question, he liked to tease and play. Who is teasing whom? How? Okay. So it's time to discuss the answers. So the first question, why does the poet say the squirrel wore a question mark for the tail? Draw a squirrel or find a picture of a squirrel sitting on the ground. How would you describe its tail? So the first question consists of different parts, and first of all we are discussing the first part. Why does the poet say the squirrel wore a question mark for the tail? So the answer is, the poet says that the squirrel wore a question mark for its tail because the shape of a squirrel's tail resembles a question mark. So the poet described the tail as a question mark because of its shape. Okay. So already I told you that there is another part for this question. Draw a squirrel or find a picture of a squirrel sitting on the ground. How would you describe its tail? So this is actually a follow-up activity for you. You have to draw the picture of a squirrel. So this is the follow-up activity of today's class. You have to draw a picture of a squirrel. I know you are not well-known artist, but just try to draw a shape of a squirrel. And here one more thing, how would you describe its tail? Already we found that the poetess described the tail as a question mark. So what do you feel when you find a tail of a squirrel? Okay, just write it down. So without wasting much time, we are moving to the second question. do we usually say that an animal wears a tail? What do we say? Do we usually say that an animal wears a tail? What do we say? Think, does an animal wear a coat? Consult a dictionary if you like and find out how wear is used in different ways. So let's check the answer. The answer is usually it is said that an animal has a tail, because tail is a part of an animal. So we will definitely use has for having a tail. The poet has used wore in the poem in order to make an image what he saw. This is an example of imagery. So actually, the poetess is trying to make an image of what he saw. So this is an example of imagery. What do you mean by imagery? Let's have a look at the imagery. What is imagery? Creating a picture in the reader's mind by making the reader see, hear, taste, smell, or touch what is being described. So actually imagery means the poet trying to create a picture in the mind of the readers by making the reader see, hear, taste, smell, touch. These are the senses of a human being, right? So while we are reading a poem, we could see, hear, taste, smell, and touch some things through the lines of the poem. So that technique is called imagery. Okay, so let's discuss the rest of the answer. The use of the word wear in different situations can be shown with the help of the following sentences. You could use dictionary for this purpose. So I am going to show you a few examples related to this. First one is, my friend was wearing a blue shirt. My friend was wearing a blue shirt. Second one, our English teacher always wears a smile. Third one, fashion models wear their hair in different ways. So in these three sentences, the wear is used according to the condition of these sentences. Okay. Now it's time to discuss the next question. He liked to tease and play. Who is teasing whom? How? This is an easy question for you. Answer, the squirrel is teasing the poet and his friends. When they ran around its tree, it went the other way. The squirrel is teasing the poet and his friends. When they ran around its tree, it went the other way. So this is the answer for the third question. What's next? Yes, follow-up activity. Now it's time to discuss today's follow-up activity. Okay, here we go. Draw a picture of a squirrel. Already I discussed or mentioned about today's activity in the question. Which question? Yes, first question in your textbook. So you have to draw a picture of a squirrel. Just try. I know you are not very well versed in the case of drawing pictures, but just try. Okay, so this is all about today's class. We will see in the next class and we will discuss the rest of the portion. Stay safe at your home. Thanks for watching. Bye.